At the beginning of the story, we are shown a period about 20,000 years ago, during the Stone Age, when people hunted large animals by crafting weapons from stones, using them to fill their stomachs. Here, we see a group of hunters waiting to ambush a large prey. Winter is about to arrive, which is why they desperately need to hunt. Otherwise, they will have to endure a harsh winter. Their leader, Tao, instructs everyone to attack the prey. Seeing themselves under attack, the animals also advance, moving toward the hunters to retaliate. As the animals approach, the hunters throw their spears at them, causing the animals to change direction and, one by one, fall into a ditch. Suddenly, one of the animals charges at Keda, who is Tao's son. Before Keda can react or understand, the wild animal attacks, injuring him. It lifts him on its horns and throws him down into the ditch. Tao watches this from a distance, striking the animal with a spear, hitting it fatally. After this, the animal throws Keda into the air, and he falls into the ditch. The scene then shifts to 7 days later, where Tao is testing some young boys to join his group before going hunting. As part of the test, they have to craft some tools. 2 boys are selected, one of whom is Keda, Tao's son. Following this, they are beaten severely to test their resilience, but both pass. Tao feels proud of his son. However, that night, Keda's mother is worried about him, saying he is still a child. Tao reassures her, saying that he will change with time and circumstances. The next morning, Tao and his group set off with Keda for hunting. After walking for many days, they reach a path laid out by their ancestors, which signifies they are on the right track. The following day, they encounter a group from another tribe, who are also friends of Tao and out searching for prey. Together, the tribesmen set off to hunt. During the journey, they catch a wild animal, and Tao asks his son to kill it to test his courage. Keda hesitates and is unable to kill the animal. Seeing this, Tao becomes angry and tells him, "Son, in the end, only the strong survive." After saying this, he kills the animal himself. That night, while everyone is eating their prey, Tao hears a sound in the forest and tells everyone to remain quiet. The group suspects an animal might be lurking nearby. They stay alert, but when there is no movement for a while, they relax. Suddenly, a lion leaps out, grabs a boy, and kills him. Terrified by the sight, Tao tells his son to remain courageous. In the next scene, we see the group creating a stone path as a mark of respect for the deceased boy, a symbolic rest in peace. After this, they continue, following the markings left by their ancestors. They spend the night in a cave, where Tao gives his son a map, crafted by their ancestors, so he can navigate the path even in difficult situations and find his way home. Later, they hear noises and spot a pack of wolves. Tao tells Keda that the lead wolf, known as Alpha, constantly lives in danger. If his pack detects any sign of weakness, they will challenge him. Therefore, the true identity of an alpha lies in his strength and courage, which enables him to lead his pack. The following morning, they spot animal tracks, and after following them, they arrive at the scene from the beginning, where Keda is shown falling into the ditch. As soon as he falls, Tao and his companions rush toward the ditch. Looking down, they see Keda clinging to a rock for support. Tao and his companions encourage him to stay strong and attempt to reach him. Just then, Keda's grip on the rock slips, and he falls onto a rock partway down the mountain. Seeing this, Tao tries to go down to save him, but everyone stops him, reminding him of his duty to his people. One of the men makes him feel his responsibility as a leader, stressing that it is his duty to bring them all back safely. Reluctantly, Tao agrees but calls out to his son, hoping to hear a response. After a night passes with no sign of Keda, Tao accepts that his son may be dead. The next morning, he leaves a mark of rest in peace in his memory and prepares to return. In the next scene, some birds mistake Keda for dead and approach to scavenge, at which point Keda's eyes open, and he throws the bird away. Realizing he's stranded on the mountainside, he calls out to his father but receives no response. He decides to climb down on his own, facing many difficulties, but refusing to give up. Heavy rain begins to fall, and the ditch fills with water. Seeing this, he jumps into the water, floating far away with the current. The next morning, when he regains consciousness, he quenches his thirst with dirty rainwater. He bandages his injured leg and, using a stick for support, limps back to the hill where he fell. Once there, he sees the rest in peace marker made from stones. Overcome with grief, he kicks the stones in anger. His cries attract a pack of wolves. Keda quickly climbs a dry tree to escape and spends the entire night there. The next morning, as he's filling his container with water, the wolves return. Seeing them approaching, he tries to climb the tree again, but one wolf grabs his leg. To save himself, Keda attacks the wolf, injuring it, then manages to climb back up the tree. The wolves wait below all night, leaving the injured wolf behind the next morning. The injured wolf cries in pain. Seeing this, Keda crafts a spear to put the wolf out of its misery. Just as he's about to strike, their eyes meet, and Keda's heart softens. Instead, he ties a rope around the wolf's mouth and takes it with him. They eventually reach a cave, where they spend the night. The next morning, Keda realizes this is the same cave he and his father had rested in. Using herbs, he creates a bandage for his feet. When he notices the wolf nearby, he unties its muzzle and cautiously offers it water in a bowl, beginning a tentative friendship. He even applies ointment to the wolf's wounds. In the next scene, Keda, hungry, catches a rabbit to eat. Watching Keda eat, the wolf also becomes eager for food. Keda eats first, then shares with the wolf, strengthening their bond. The next morning, Keda decides to continue his journey home, telling the wolf to return to its pack. However, the wolf continues to follow him despite his efforts to turn it away. At one point, Keda tries to chase the wolf off by hitting it with a stick, but the wolf only retrieves the stick and starts playing. Finally, Keda accepts its companionship. As they continue, they encounter a herd of wild animals. Using its skills, the wolf brings the herd closer to Keda, but he gets nervous and the prey escapes. That night, both go hungry. The following day, the wolf teaches Keda how to hunt. By nightfall, their friendship has grown, and the wolf even sleeps beside Keda. In the morning, the wolf wakes him gently, and together, they bathe in a river. The wolf catches a fish for Keda, lifting his spirits. The next day, they resume their journey, and Keda names his new friend Alpha. As winter arrives, they hunt a wild animal together. Keda, now fearless, makes the kill, and they both feast on their prey. Suddenly, another wolf appears. Mistaking it for a threat, Keda raises his spear, but then realizes it's a member of Alpha's pack, come to retrieve him. Alpha looks at Keda as if seeking permission to leave. Keda nods, allowing Alpha to reunite with his pack. The next morning, Keda moves onward through a fierce snowstorm. After walking a while, he spots Alpha among a group of wolves. Overjoyed, he runs towards him, but the ice breaks, and he falls into a lake. Seeing him in danger, Alpha tries to save him, clawing at the ice but unable to break it. Keda manages to break through with his weapon and escapes with Alpha's help. To keep warm, he lights a fire, removes his wet clothes, and sleeps beside Alpha. The next morning, he resumes his journey, moving closer to his destination. After walking some distance, they see a man frozen to death in the snow. Keda takes the bow and arrow from his hand and continues toward his destination. As they move ahead, they encounter a snowstorm and a hyena, so they take shelter in a cave to save themselves. Inside, Alpha senses a threat, and suddenly, a lion attacks Keda. Alpha, disregarding his own life, steps between Keda and the lion, confronting it. Keda then kills the lion with an arrow. In the fight, Alpha is badly injured. Seeing Alpha's loyalty, Keda vows to keep him by his side forever. The next morning, they resume their journey. Along the way, Keda spots markers left by his ancestors, signaling that he is on the right path and close to his destination. Braving the freezing cold, they press on. Eventually, Alpha's strength wanes, and Keda, seeing his condition, lifts him in his arms to carry him forward. After a while, Keda himself begins to weaken from hunger and thirst. He places Alpha down and falls asleep, where he dreams of his parents. Awaking with renewed determination, he lifts Alpha again, mustering all his remaining strength. Finally, after some time, Keda sees his clan in the distance. Overjoyed beyond measure, he reaches his family. Tao is overwhelmed to see his son alive. Keda asks if he has proven himself, and Tao, overcome with emotion, cries and embraces him. The tribe members then treat both Keda and Alpha, and they discover that Alpha is, in fact, a female who has given birth to pups. Keda, surprised by this revelation, feels even greater respect for her. The tribe warmly welcomes Alpha and her young into their family. Time passes, and we see a new leader rising in the tribe. In this way, The story reveals the beginning of the loyal bond between humans and animals, bringing the movie to a close. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.